Welcome Shankara TV viewers and greetings to you all. So, in this field of the power of positive thinking, what we should understand is when we flow or do or be in a normal level of reality, when we are in our normal field of action, we don't think anything negative because they are simple, we feel, and we flow through that without any problem. Now, when does a problem can happen? A problem does happen especially if we do not know to think properly and communicate properly. Now, for example, I have seen in many families, many mothers will scold their children. If you do not study, you would fail in your exam. You see, if you do not study is a negative word, and you would fail in your exam is a negative word. So, negative words create negative thoughts which would create negative energies. You will understand mostly when I deal with quantum physics and other areas of a brain. But just prima facie, you please understand, instead of saying this to your child, you tell him, if you study well, you will be the Prime Minister of India. If you study well, you can be a judge. If you study well, you can be a leading doctor. There is a difference. Instead of saying you will fail if you do not study well, you say like this. You yourself are responsible to create this positive energy. Without knowing that, you simply blurt out something which is not correct. Always tell the child, very good, excellent, perfect, you are a good child, you are a smiling child, you are an intelligent child. Even if your child does not take food, you just feed him and tell you are a good child. You are a very intelligent child. You are a very obedient child. Instead of telling you are not taking food, take food. Otherwise, you will not grow. You will not be strong. You see, these not strong, you should say take food. You are going to be very strong. There is a difference. Now, what happens when you spew out these negative words? You are creating a negative field. When you create a negative field, it is only negative magnetism. You will only be attracting negative thoughts, negativity, which is failure, which is depression, which is stress in your own house. You are blowing out all these unwanted words which would only create negativity. You are not realizing that. Some mothers will say, if you do not go to the office, you will get dismissed. If you do not go to the office at the right time, they will mark you absent. Do not use like that. You will be dismissed, you will be marked absent, you will not get promotion. Instead of that, if you by saying, if you go to the office promptly or punctually or on time, you will get promotion. You will be the managing director of the company. You will get job satisfaction. Your peers, your contemporaries in your office, your co-workers, co-staff will appreciate you. You will be a leader in your office. You will be a model, role model to follow for others. See, there is a word for a mother or an elderly person in the house, the way they have to express their opinions. If you do not cross the road properly, a vehicle will come and hit you and kill you, they will say. It is not warranted at all. These are total negative words creating negative emotions. You should tell, be careful while crossing the road. You will cross safely. That is enough. That clue a man can pick up, a person, a human being, whatever his age, can pick up, because he is also watching the traffic. There is no necessity for you to drill, inculcate, imbibe all these negative words. By doing that, I am again repeatedly telling you, you are polluting your own house with unwanted negativity. You see, there is a law of buoyancy, that is, every one of us know to swim. Do you know that? Every animal swims, whether it is giraffe or whether it is elephant or whether it is hippopotamus, rhinoceros, big bulky bisons, bulky animals, all of them swim, bulky animals too. But we as a human beings do not swim because we think we will get drowned. In our early age, somebody would have told us, if you jump into the water, you will drown. You will not drown. If you jump into the water, taking whatever it is, the air, your head will always come up. It is a fear. It is a negative thought that you will drown, and 1 second you get that fear and then you drown. That 1 second. Actually, you cannot drown. You have to work hard to get drowned. Only the fear can drown you and not the water. That means there is a sense of communication involved, which I am going to delve deeply. If you do not right from your young age listen or speak positivity, positive thoughts, then in the gap you may have negative thoughts, because the atmosphere, the surroundings should be repleted with positive thoughts. That was what that made even Buddha to run away from his palace when he saw negativity. He saw a leper, he saw a dead man, he saw an aged man, and Buddha said, this is what it is. See, negativity in our daily walk of life will spoil us. And negativity starts when? Right from your infancy, right from when you are a small boy, child, a toddler, when the elders in the house. So, elders in the house should know how to communicate. What are the positive thoughts? What are the positive words they should use inside the house, because that would also help them to develop their own positivity. They are not only spoiling themselves, but by speaking negative words, they are spoiling the others, and they are creating a field of negativity inside the house. Anything and everything blaming, anything and everything fighting, anything and everything finding fault, using all wrong words and harsh words, which creates even the house, next in the society, next in the street, next in the town, next in the city, next in the state, next in the entire humanity, in the entire world. This will go, this ripple will grow big. There would be only negativity. And to arrest, you will have to put extra human, superhuman efforts. Though preachers, though books, though discourses does tell, there are lots of pockets in various parts of the world who spew negativity, who spew destruction, who wanted to kill the others, who promote violence, instead of thinking about positive thoughts, lovely thoughts, shunning violence, shunning all this negative communication, verbosity. So, my advice is, even when you think first, before you communicate, you have to think first, and when thinking, try to think only good words. It originates from there. You have to feel positivity. You do not act positivity. You have to feel. That has to be in your gene. That has to be in your mind, and you have to train your mind. You have to be very firm in that smallest infinite seed to know that by thinking positively, by inheriting positivity, you are going to generate positive thinking, positive field. what is more that is important is not only you, please do not give negative ideas to your friends, your circles, not only within your house, but in your society, as I told you, in your city, in your town, in your state, in your country. You would only breed and breathe negativity then. Everywhere there will be negativity. When you open a newspaper, they will only talk of negative incidents. They will never talk of positive incidents. That train crashed here, this man was killed. This actually spews out negativity. Never would they say, this young student invented this. This student came first in the class. This student won that prize. Never they would say, this scientist invented this product. This man in this hospital saved a big life. Where they do state, that will be in the inner pages somewhere. See, this again, you are only polluting, just like an automobile vehicle pollutes your street with unburnt sulfur, carbon. Black smoke will come, and that is what, by your negative words, through your negative thoughts in you, you are giving out what is known as polluted sulfur, carbonated black air, black thoughts. How do you expect society to improve unless you yourself decide that from here I would never think anything negatively I would not think. I would only speak something good. I would only speak and do something good. I will try to change my communication system. You are wrong, they would say. There is a wrong word. You should never say you are wrong. It may not be correct. Maximum, if you want to communicate, you say it is incorrect. Don't put the other man down. You are wrong, you are spewing out negativity. How do you know that you are wrong? Maybe wrong. It is incorrect. You did a very bad job, they say. Tell, the job was not good. If you want to communicate, the job was not perfect. There are words, bad job, bad thing, a killing century he made. What is killing and what is century in cricket? He made a brightest century or a very good century, whatever it is you want to say. A killing, a devastating effect that sportsman gave by scoring 4 goals. What is devastating? Devastating is a negative word. Killing is a negative word. You can use word like scintillating, perfect. There are a lot of negative words which are married to positive actions, giving that positive actions a negative energy only. They do not know to use those words. A striking effect, they would say. What striking effect? A good effect or a bad effect? An incorrect effect, an unpleasant effect, or an undesired effect. That means, why I am telling these points very clearly is, not only the individual has to change himself, but the society per se, the individual, when he interacts with his household people, right from his kids to the elderly and then to the society, should change his communication skills, should try to avoid all these negative bad words. I would say bad words, just to communicate. Whenever you talk to something, you don't try to hit at them directly, but there are other words available. Incorrect, imperfect, not pleasant, unpleasant, instead of saying it was dirty. You yourself can pick out based on the idea which I had given you. You yourself can improve your communication skills, the thought flow process, the idea you want to convey, because this will build up the power of the positive thoughts in you. How you are going to do that? And when you step forward, never think backward. Never think that when you are going to swim, that you are going to learn swimming. Never think that you will drown. You are going to learn swimming. Now, I shall go chapter by chapter, but some of the very leading minds who have done so much to the world with their positive thoughts, never thinking anything negative, what they have done, that you should know. Because in 50 years from now, It is the positive thoughts that is giving us the brightest of inventions. It is the positive thoughts that have put us into commanding heights of technology, where every human being, right from using his cell phone to getting his body scan, things are happening only due to positive thoughts of certain persons who are involved. I would just give you certain beautiful thoughts, discoveries that is going to happen, and I have had the interaction, the fortunate incident of interacting with them, the instance of interacting with them, and I found them very confident of whatever they are going to achieve or whatever they have achieved. I will tell you, for example, in US they have what is known as the brain project. In the brain project they have what is known as brain 2.0, that is the second level of they have come to, that is called the genome project and the connectome project. The genome project is the scanners scan your genes and store it in a disk. The connectome project is the scanners, the electron scanners scan your brain, complete brain, and store it in your disk. Now you see what will happen. If a person is not alive, if your great grandfather is not alive, and if this scanning was done in those times, you can play both those disks in your computer, and your great grandfather will be answering your day-to-day question. That is, suppose you are applying for a visa for US. Hey great grandfather, what should I do to get the US visa? He will be answering you. He will not be present before you in flesh and bones, in blood, but his face, his image, his thoughts, his reaction, his own life, bodily life will be present in the computer, and you can talk to him. You can tell him, I am depressed, I am happy, I am joyful, I am going to get married. Your great grandfather will tell you, you get married there, you get married to this woman. My suggestion is, whatever he would have told you when he was alive in body and flesh, the same reaction, type of reaction you are going to get from your great grandfather now. I think you understood my point. That is the development that is taking place by those positive thinkers, by those researchers. These researchers have got nothing in mind. They want this, they will do this. They do not think what happens if it fails. They have no such thoughts. They keep on trying, as Alva Edison says, 10,000 times I would have failed in discovering or inventing a product, but it is 10,000 ways of learning how to make the product. He never thought that he has failed and got depressed or dejected. Depression, dejection, stress, fear, all these things are negativity. They only pull you back into gravity. They don't allow you to go further. Now you have heard about this connectome and genome project. Go a little bit forward also. If you want to undertake a space travel, they will just put your connectome disk in a laser light beam, and that will travel and send signals to you, so that you will feel that bodily you are undertaking the travel. That will go at a speed of light. You would also undertake the travel, because your connectome brain disks are put in those laser beams which will be traveling at a great speed of light. You will undertake interstellar space travel. Very funny to know about it. Not only this, for example, if smaller things you come to, if you are not able to go to Switzerland on a holiday, the chip, you can put it in your friend's brain, he will go, travel and put back, and you will enjoy the travel as if the places where your friends have seen the same, your friend has seen the same scenery, the same lively feeling you will have, because it is implanted in your brain. What about Stephen Hawking, the world's famous scientist? He is paralyzed totally, but there is a right chip somewhere on the right side of his brain near the spectacle. and that sends signal to his brain, and the brain sends signal to the computer, and he speaks and he answers, because he is completely paralyzed. Who created all these things? Those wonderful scientists and technicians who know that I have to create certain thing, I create, that is it. What about Google glasses? They have contact lenses which will translate the language. If a Chinese man comes and speaks to you in Chinese, it will be automatically transferred to you in English or in your native language. Whatever programming has been done. If you wear Google glasses, you can read the biography of the person standing before you. If his name is Tom, he must have been in Facebook, in Twitter, or his name would have appeared somewhere in an electronic newspaper. All those factors will be picked up and you will be reading him. Why? Your own cell phone will come now, which will scan your entire body cells and send your medical report to the doctor. And before you reach the hospital, the doctors will have your body completely scanned, and the prescription, the medical prescription will also be ready. You need not wait in the hospital for taking x-rays or scanning your lung or your liver. Who does all these things? These researchers and scientists who are involved are totally concentrated, and they never think, for example, what if I cannot do? What if I am not able to find this, invent this, discover this? They have no such feeling. If you fail in one attempt, what you and I consider is a failure, it is not a failure for them. It is that method is not giving the correct result, so let us go to some other method, that is all. But they want the final result, and the final result is they will achieve, and you can take any path you want, they will achieve the final path. Exoskeletons have come. Exoskeletons, people who are completely paralyzed, they have a chip planted, and the chip commands, and those skeletons will just walk. They are implanted in the body of a man who is completely paralyzed. In fact, I was told in 2018 World Cup or something, soccer, the prize will be given by a man who is completely paralyzed. He will lift the cup and hand over the inauguration to show the public the display of the soccer cup. You see, fine and fantastic discoveries and inventions are taking place, both in quantum physics and in medical sciences, and these happen, and the researchers, the scientists involved behind these are totally men of positive vision, whether it be Wright brothers or whether it be Thomas Alva Edison or whether it be anybody. All those discoverers, if you analyze their mind deeply, they are only concentrated. They never fear. Wright brothers never feared that what will happen when their aircraft falls down. They did like this with a screw and a bolt, and whatever it is, they planned, they did, they write, and they flew. They never feared about anything. And success comes to those who go on the positive way, on the positive wavelength of thoughts, that there can never be something called a failure, and I am going to accomplish this invention or business or medical science. I am going to accomplish, that is all. There is nothing else beyond that. And what that happens, it is, sir, it is wonderful. It is wonderful to note that if you do not have any negative thoughts, but primarily building yourself from the young age in positive thinking, you breed positivity, you spew out positive energies, a magnetic, beautiful field of positive energies. You also train others, the society, to come up to this level, a completely different level of positivity. There has been nothing known as negativity in future years to come. Simple example, in another 30 years, there will be nothing called poverty in this world. You have to work hard to be in poverty. That is the advancement being made in all fields, whether in food, health, nutrition, whatever it is, science, electronics, gadgets. You cannot have poverty in this world, because these successes breed successes. These positive thoughts breed positive thoughts. And these are very, very, very essential. Whether it be Wright brothers, or whether it be Bill Gates, or whether it be those brilliant inventors who take out all those laser beams, or your dream getting, you can even store your dreams and play it back, the chips, the brain chips. So my dear viewers, in the next episode I shall go into the subject called the quantum field. Thank you.